One basin, two basins stacked together, barefoot, mark the points, use a drill to turn. The rough edges are very sharp. You can slightly smooth them with a grinder. Then draw a small rectangle at the bottom of this basin. Drill holes at the four corners. Cutting afterwards can prevent exceeding the lines. Easily make a lid. And an alkaline basin for the second layer. Similarly, mark the screw holes. Position it well, and step firmly to punch through. Alright, finally stack the three of them together and mark the lid. Then mark the positions for the connecting screw holes. Use the same method to cut, but here you need to leave one edge uncut. Flip it over, draw a guideline on it, and use needle nose pliers to bend it along the line, continuing to bend. Do it like this. Find the flow plate, and the flame can travel along the top of the stove. Turn the screws properly, install the combustion chamber over the opening, align the holes, and prepare these short screws to secure it in place. Invite the destined ROM inside. Simply fix the frame, draw the inner frame lines, and use an angle grinder to cut out the middle, which will be used as an observation window. Clean up the rough edges. Draw another frame on the front of the short side, cut it out to use as a genius window. At the four corners, cut a slanted notch and use needle nose pliers to bend it outward into a lip, so that when the oven door is closed, it won't easily misalign. You can use a ready-made plate. That's quite long. Draw the lines, cut it in half, and then join them together, which will still be a bit long, so cut off the excess. Is that okay? Place the contract in the middle, mark it well, drill out the screw holes, and then cut off the obstructive rolled edges. Make sure the single-sided hole of the hinge is clear, so that when installing the oven door, it can be easily adjusted and positioned. Leave room for the nut to be visible. Use the damper from a clay pot stove as the air intake. Change the hole position. Start with a low flame, then fix the two layers together with screws. Use a hole saw to secure it in place. Check and adjust the air intake. You only need to rotate the outer combustion chamber. Drill the screw holes here, and install it properly. Very precise. First make a small hole on the left side, then enlarge it. Prepare to cut a small section wet and dry. Slightly tilt it down, and enlarge the original hole at the base to allow the stone rod to pass through. Next, insert only halfway, and secure it with a nut. Use a large ceremonial coin to lock it in place. On the stove door, there is an eye nut at the end for easy handling. Tighten it with needle nose pliers, and you have a simple door bolt. By twisting the eye nut, you can easily control the opening and closing of the stove door. On the opposite side of the stove door, make another large opening, and install the damper with screws. Place the stove lid properly, add a metal can on top, remove the label, and make a mark in the center. Then use a hole saw to drill through, set it upright, and pierce the top for easy smoke release. Prepare 3 of these. A small angle iron, evenly install them on the protruding holes of the iron can and tighten the screws. Done. You can see it can secure the chimney well. The following pieces are also useful. It's a corner ground into a rounded corner. Turn it to draw a good mark, then draw a square. Extend it out for easy removal of furnace slag. Press it down to create a curve, making it fit the base of the skull better, which makes it less likely to loosen. A small piece is bent into a slanted opening, installed at the top for fixation, and there will be no problem. The side of the skull base also needs holes for the main air inlet. Only 6 were opened. After installing the air door, it looks very impressive, and the protruding part is just right. For placing wallpaper, simply perfect. Fold the threaded rod to the length of people, just cut a little, and use the front axle bend of this section as a handle. Attach a piece at the front and secure it with a nut. It will climb and be very useful. The length is measured precisely, allowing for a clean cut. Prepare 4 rods and nuts to insert into the pre-drilled holes. Use a drill to move the nuts, securing each layer, and adjust until it doesn't wobble. Finally, install the heat-resistant glass, fix it in place with a frame, and a secondary combustion wood stove without welding is completed. Take a look at it from all angles. It's getting dark. Open the stove door fully and put in the wood. The interior space is sufficient, allowing you to place several pieces at once. Close the secondary air intake and slightly adjust the main air intake. Use a torch to ignite the wood. And you can also close the stove door. From the bright spot below, you can reach in to ignite the wood more quickly. Alright, it's already started burning. Open the air vent wide. You can already feel the heat above. Let's open it and take a look. Wow, it's burning vigorously. As the temperature rises, the wood begins to decompose into combustible gases, tar, and charcoal. Look, the top of the stove and the chimney beside it are already glowing red. Open both ends of the secondary air intakes completely. Do you see the swirling flames above? That's secondary combustion. The temperature has already exceeded 600 degrees Celsius, and with ample oxygen supply, high ignition point and high calorific value gases like methane and carbon monoxide are burning intensely, releasing a tremendous amount of heat. Do you see it? The top of the stove is too exaggerated. It's about to turn completely red. Ha 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 ha. Close all the air intakes to let the temperature drop a bit. Look at the efficient burning of the wood below. There's only a little bit of ash at the bottom. Use a rake to collect it properly. Don't just throw it away. Take a look. It's mostly incombustible carbonates and silicates. I'm getting hungry too. Boil some instant noodles with a little water to make a quick meal. Turn it around for even heating, and it will boil quickly. Add the seasoning packet and the noodle block. Just eating noodles isn't nutritionally balanced. Let's crack an egg in as well. Where's everyone? Wow, it smells so good. Instant noodles are really something great. Cheers first. Without wings, let's add some more wood to fry a piece of meat for extra nutrition, and add a clove of garlic. Flip it over. The heat will cook it quickly. Cut it into small pieces, making it more elegant to eat. It's mouth-wateringly delicious. Delicacy of the human world.